Alrighty folks, this is one that was promised to a viewer. You might remember I reviewed this National Electric cooker a little while ago, portable induction cooker. Nationwide electrical, sorry, not natural electric. God, sorry, I'm so hungover. Let me get a beer. And there's a bit of background noise because I've got these new adjustable lights. As you can see, you can actually see the reflection of them. That'll turn all the way off. But I've got a big 36 volt power supply that I really need to dial down a bit. Otherwise, yeah, I had a big night. It's nearly 2 PM. I'm still feeling rough. Hopefully that'll help, but we had a viewer ask about how I think the induction element in this is a bit off-center. And I'm wondering what you could do about that. Now, full disclosure, you should never open up a appliance unless you're licensed and trained to do so. These plug into mains, which means they will kill you. This is a glorified danger noodle. I do this basically for a living. I deal with mains voltage all the time. I have been electrocuted a few times, even on this video actually, testing the Mars Hydro, I think it was. I touched the LEDs that were supposed to be coded and went whoop, that's a no. That really hurt. Actually burnt my skin a bit, but there's a few little things that you do learn over the way, such as not making contact with anything metal, like I've got metal just here, only ever using one hand when you're touching something, that sort of thing. That being said, still just best not to do. What we're going to have a quick look here at is if you can easily move the coil so it's a bit more centered, what sort of fan it's got in case you might want to replace it with something that's also high airflow but quieter. And as you'll see, what they always do is the old, oh, have they? What's under here? There's normally a screw there. No, alright, there is no void warranty screw, that's handy. Ooh, neat. So, that is an interesting design. So that's the glass element, or the back side of it. That's thermal paste. You'll see here, that is a small that must be some sort of temperature sensing something. That's got to be a temperature sensor. So, first and foremost, there is no chance of moving this coil. It actually, to me, looks very centered, and that's a decent size coil too. What I do immediately notice is what looks like it's miswound. Yeah, I don't know why that might be. I don't know. It does look like you'd be able to take it off and rewind it. That's probably going to lead to some significant inefficiencies, but it also looks intentional. I'm not sure why. If you've got any ideas of why they might do that, that would be awesome. Now you got these contact buttons here. They're just your normal touch sensors, your LEDs, 2 fans. They look like standard 120 mil or so. No, turns out I can't eyeball it for shit. They're 80 mil fans. What do we got? That's the controller, little 12 volt. What we got? Mains coming in. That's a strange design. It is fused, which is good. Fan straight off there. Your beeper, microcontroller, 12 volt transformer. Oh, okay, and that will be what's rectifying it there, I'm guessing. I don't know all the parts off the top of my head. And then we've got, this obviously is the coil controller. So it's relayed and fused, and there's some interesting parts here. So the voltage is going to be stepped up, I believe. These are rated for 600 volts or so, and there's a lot of warning signs. The relay to cut it on and off based on the microcontroller. Whatever these things are, these 10 microfarads, so these are capacitors. 8.6 microfarad. 600 volts AC 1200 DC, so they're also capacitors. This is a really interesting design, a lot of components I've never seen before. Then under here, it will be some sort of triac or MOSFET or whatever you want to call it that switches it on and off really fast. So I think I might actually have us in the car. They're a transistor, they're a switch essentially, and that's what turns this on and off extremely fast so that it creates the magnetic or the the wave that is inducted into the metal. Now I'm probably messing a lot of this up because my electronics is very basic and I'm hungover as all hell. But as you can see, the fans are definitely replaceable. They're easily removable too, which I would not recommend because it might overheat. It needs a lot of airflow, especially for this bad boy. The coil is an odd design, but seems to be intentional. I'd be curious what everyone thinks and others out there if they've got the same experience. It's good that it's fused. It's fairly serviceable by the looks of it, but this goes hand in hand with my review where I thought it was fairly good appliance. So let's grab a bit of the old Arctic aluminium. Make sure that's got all the contact it needs, and we'll put it back together. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you learned something from it. I would still recommend these. I'm pretty happy with it. Till next time, take it easy.